to another exciting episode of Roxi's Room, where I bring you the hottest stars of the sports industry and make them feel like royalty for a day. I, of course, am Roxy Hart, your queen interviewer of Chicago. Being the queen interviewer of my kingdom, I was more than excited to bring in another king interviewer from another kingdom. He has graciously handed over his microphone and has agreed to sit down and answer a few questions from me today. So let me start by saying I am honored to introduce the creator and interviewer of Johngy's Beat, the king interviewer, the king of putting someone over, Mr. John Wroblewski.
Wow.
Johngy.
How do I live up to that introduction, Roxy? It's good to see you. It's good to be in Roxy's room, and it's good to talk to the queen.
Why, thank you so much. I am tickled red to have you here today. My first question is, of course, how does it feel to be on the other end of the microphone?
You know, it feels a little weird because I know P.L. Myers, the great P.L. Myers, interviewed me once, and that's probably it. So you're probably the second person ever.
That's not too shabby. I'll take it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you and the shot to the top, so you're in good company, or he's in good company, I should say.
Absolutely. P.L. Myers, what a class act. I can understand how he got to you first.
Well, I've known him a little bit longer, so that helps.
Absolutely. You've been in this industry a long time. How long have you been conducting interviews now?
My first major interview was 2008. It was for Global Traveler magazine, a magazine that I've worked for probably 16 years. And it was 2008. I flew out to Los Angeles to interview a former Chicago Cub, Rick Monday, who was an announcer with the Dodgers. And I was interviewing him because he saved the American flag from being lit on fire in 1976, I believe. So I interviewed him about that for a July 4th article. And that started the whole thing going.
Wow, that's quite a piece to start with. That must have gotten you really excited for more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was standing on the field on, LA Dodgers Stadium. I'm standing on the field surrounded by, I was a kid. I wasn't a kid, but I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm just sitting there surrounded by all these baseball guys. I was with my buddy Chuck, and we were both kind of looking at each other going like, man, what are we doing here? This is insane. But it was a lot of fun, and it started a lot of fun. So.
That's great. That's great. Now, I've done a lot of research about your exciting career. I like to do that, get to know my guests a little bit more. And I happen to notice that you really got excited about this women's softball team, the Chicago Bandits, based out of Rosemont, Illinois. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, one of the reasons I was looking to do something different, looking to write about something different, and I knew about the Bandits, obviously. So I went there for a game in 2013, and I really enjoyed it. It's really competitive. The Bandits do a great job with the fans. They're really interactive with the fans. They come out after the game and meet everybody. And I really enjoyed it. So during the off season, I talked to their GM at the time, and I told them what I wanted to do, and I wanted to press pass for the season. And I started interviewing all the players the next season. And for the last 6 seasons, well, not this last year because there wasn't a season because of the COVID, but previous to that, for 6 seasons, I interviewed pretty much every player and did a lot of cool things with the team. And and anybody that says it's just girls playing, I challenge you to go out there and watch a game because these are the best athletes in their sport. These are the best in the world. There's 6 teams and there's 150 young women, and these are just truly elite athletes.
That's really exciting. You must have been tickled pink to be talking to such accomplished athletes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've talked to some of legitimately some of the greatest athletes in the world of softball, at least. And a lot of them are actually going to be in the Olympics next year. The Olympics, softball is back in the Olympics. It was supposed to be this year. Obviously, that got delayed too. But in July of next year, the Olympics are going to be played in China, and China or Japan. I always forget. But so many of the athletes from the Bandits League are going to be playing either for Team USA, Team Mexico, Team Canada, the 6 teams that are involved. There's probably about 40 or 50 of the athletes that are going to be there. So I'll actually know, a good portion of the players. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, so am I. You've gotten me pumped up about it. I'll have to give them a look.
Well, you got to come out to you and the Roth guy you're with sometimes. You guys got to come out to a Bandits game and maybe bring PL and his wife out. We could have a good time at the game.
Well, I think I can make that happen. We shall see. Now, I did read a comment written by you in regards to the Chicago Bandits, and I quote, judging by the lack of other coverage, I realized that they were woefully underappreciated by the media. So that's why you started doing the interviews with the players. Why do you think there wasn't more coverage about such an accomplished team and other female athletes in general?
I think women's sports in general, it doesn't get the coverage it deserves. People have asked me a lot why I cover women's sports. It's just women's sports, whatever. Sports is sports. It's all a level playing field. I don't know why they don't get more coverage. Even the women radio announcers and the women sportscasters in Chicago, they don't even cover it. And there's been times when I've called into the score or others or sent quick tweets or whatever, just to get the when the Bandits won the championship. They didn't even cover it at all. So, I don't know why. I wish they would. It seems like a natural. A lot of the players are from the Chicago, a good number are from the Chicago area. It would seem like something that they should do. And I don't know. I don't have a great answer why they don't cover it. They should, because it's really fun stuff.
Agreed. I'm not a sports person myself. I don't play any sports, but I can tell you a lot of these women, they work just as hard, if not harder, than their male counterparts. And Roxy's room is a safe space. I try not to get too political or take any platform, but I agree with you. And I think it's really, really wonderful what you're doing, putting these ladies over. So thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, I mean, it's not really about politics at all. It's just, forget women, forget men. It's just fun. Like it's a good time, whether it's the Bandits, whether it's the athletes, Unlimited that just had a season here, Northwestern softball, DePaul women's basketball. It's all fun, and I mean, I'm a sports fan, but I don't go there and study the statistics and figure all that. I just go to have a good time, and that's really all it is.
It's true. I think a lot of people forget that. Yes, we have to win, we have to lose, but it's fun. Get the fans pumped up. This is what we're here for, and it's about respect as well. And you give it to them. You give it to everyone.
Well, I appreciate that, Roxy. That means a lot coming from the Queen.
Oh, well, stop, but go on. So you were doing a lot of sports interviews. So tell me, how is it? It brought you to Comic-Cons. And folks, I've seen Johngy here at a few Comic-Cons myself. If you don't know already, I cosplay. And I've actually got a wonderful picture in my database still of myself in a Star Trek uniform holding the Loki's Tesseract with the horns and a wig next to wonderful Joey Roth and our correspondent here. So please tell us a little bit about what brings you to Comic-Cons every year.
Well, that picture was at C2E2. I remember that well. But what brings me to I'll tell you a little secret. I've been going to Comic-Cons for a lot of years, probably 15 years. And after I did that thing with Global Traveler in LA, I started thinking, wow, this could really be a neat thing to get me in the back door of Comic-Cons and get me some extra cool stuff. So it was my way to, quote unquote, beat the system. I got free passes. I got, cut in line privileges. I got to go behind the scenes and meet a lot of the celebrities and interview the celebrities, more than I could have ever hoped for in just going to meet them at the booth and paying whatever. And I have no problem with paying a celebrity for a picture if it's somebody I really want to meet. But I also am willing to work, and write a story and do an interview and get the picture free if that works out as well. And it's worked out pretty well. And so, and the Comic Cons have treated me very well, whether it's C2E2 or Wizard World, Flashback Weekend, Motor City Comic Con. They're all very gracious with their hospitality.
That's really wonderful to hear. Just like many of the that I've been a part of, Comic-Con communities are very close-knit, very welcoming. They want you to be there, and they show it. I bet you've met a lot of interesting characters there, and celebrities, I'm sure. Can you name drop a few?
Well, Henry Winkler, without a doubt, is the nicest guy I've ever met. I was at a Hollywood celebrity show in Rosemont, and he, of course, had a line that was, 300 deep. And every 15, 20 minutes or so, he would leave his booth and walk the line and thank everybody for waiting in line. And I've never seen anything like that in my life. That's crazy nice. Dee Snider, the famous rock star, he was late for a convention in Indianapolis one year. He called the convention host. He said, "Look, I'm going to be late." He was only going to be there 2 days. He was going to be there Friday and Saturday. He was going to be late on Friday. He said, "Look, tell everybody I'm going to be a couple hours late, but I will stay. Anybody that's there today, I will stay as late as need be to meet all of them." And I was like, that again, like that type of niceness. You hear a lot about celebrities being, jerks or this or that, but then you get those that are so nice, just so going out of their way. It's really cool to see that side of celebrities.
Wow, that's something. I saw Henry Winkler myself. He actually thought I was in his line and grabbed my hand. That was quite a special moment.
Well, he's
And
the Fonz.
I know. I love his work. I love the show. So I was more than happy that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet you've met a lot of interesting cosplayers as well. Did any stick in your mind? Any that you remember?
Tell you the one, it's been a long running joke with my friends. I'm a big fan of Aquaman, and as going to the Comic Cons, you probably will understand this. Before the recent movie came out, Aquaman was pretty low on the radar for most people. So it was always cool for me to see anybody dressed as Aquaman, and usually if I saw one, maybe two people. So it was either me and my friends would always be on the lookout for anybody dressed as Aquaman, and if we ever saw him, you knew I was going to zoom in and get that picture with an Aquaman. Now, since the movie, it's more frequent, so it's not quite as much of a thrill, but I still will chase an Aquaman. So if you're an Aquaman at your convention, if you're an Aquaman woman, if you're an Aquaman child, I don't care. I will track you down and I will get a photo with you.
There you have it, fans. Comic-Cons, sadly, are not going on right now in the near future, but if you have a Aquaman cosplay, reach out to this gentleman right here, either through my website or Johngy's Beat. You heard it from me right here. You have to do it. The challenge is set, folks. Let's see what you come up with.
Well, as you know, they just announced C2E2 was going to be in December of next year. They pushed it off. They postponed it from March. So hopefully by December, everything will be cool. And I'll see you there.
Oh, you better believe I'll be there. Let's all keep our fingers crossed together, folks. This Comic-Con must happen. Safely, of course, but it must happen.
By then, yes, fingers crossed it should, yeah.
Well, speaking of even more wonderful interviews, I noticed that you have associated yourself with CCW, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. Congratulations for getting on board.
Well, thank you, and congratulations to you as well.
Thank you very much. And folks, may I say that Johngy has been wonderful in coaching the Queen on how to interview, what platforms to use, and such. So I am learning from the best.
Well, the Queen really didn't need a whole lot of coaching. Maybe a tip here or there, but the Queen's got her act down pat.
Why, thank you. So you have been interviewing quite a few CCW stars. I notice you've had a Joey Roth on there. You've had a Tully Bertarelli. Who else do you have on your roster in the near future?
Well, I have an updated version with the owner, John Bullard, coming up. We haven't done it yet. I was going to wait till after the holidays. You know, it's a little quiet time right now, so as he gets closer to the April show, I'll be jumping on. I have something planned with C Red, the urban sensation.
Yes.
Always, I know you interviewed him, so I will follow suit. And I'm sure I will be talking to PL Myers because, just between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed, PL likes the spotlight a little
I'm not sure that I noticed, but I have a
bit.
hunch you're right.
So yeah, and pretty much I'm open to anybody. I don't like to chase people down, so I put it out there to a lot of people, and whoever is interested in coming on John's Beat, they're all welcome because it's all fun.
Yes, it is fun. Thank you so much. And I have one last question for you before I let you go. You are so busy. I know that your calendar
Oh,
is full.
totally busy, sure.
So I happened to come across a fascinating little tidbit in your About Me section on Johngy's Beat
Oh,
about what wrestling move you would be if you were in the ring yourself. Would you care to share with the audience what that is and what the move entails?
well, the thing is, it doesn't necessarily entail anything specific, but it would be the John G's beatdown. Now, now back when Resistance Pro ran shows in Chicago, the various announcers, whenever there was a really powerful move or a finishing move or a dramatic move, whether it was Zach Thompson or any of the other announcers that were there, Sarah Shockey, they would shout, "That's the John G's beatdown of the night," and I just got such a thrill out of that. So the John John's beatdown would be my finisher, or if I was when I announced, I did a little announcing for Resistance Pro. I would call out the John John's beatdown of the night as well.
I like the sound of that. I would really like to see that in action. You sure you're not going to step in the ring anytime soon?
No, no, I would love to do like a workout, a wrestling workout, because I like to do sort of like a get behind the scenes thing. I've batted with the Chicago Bandits. I've announced for the Windy City Rollers. I like to get behind the scenes and kind of step in their shoes. Actual wrestling though would not be a thing for me though. I'm happy with doing the interviews. I was happy with my announcing gig, and yeah, it's better if I leave the actual wrestling to the professionals.
That and you want to protect the goods, the pretty face here, right?
Well, I'm not, boy, I don't know. I don't think it could do any damage. I think it's. I
Oh.
think anything might be an improvement. If I wrestled, I'd probably wear a mask. That would probably be better.
Well, everyone is wearing a mask nowadays, so that's not so far fetched, I must say.
Nicely done. Yes.
Well, I would like to now open it up to you, as you do on your wonderful show that I was lucky to be a part of. Is
And
there
you'll be
anything
again.
you would? I'm
And
sorry?
you'll be back on again soon.
Why, thank you. My apologies. There is a little delay on my end. Wonderful technological glitches in this age. Well, would you like to promote anything about the future of John G's Beat, about the future of CCW, about yourself? I open it up to you now.
Well, as we know, CCW is going to have their next show on April 17th. It's 4 months away, 4.5 months away, so there's plenty of time. And John ran a wonderful show. It was socially distant. It was very safe, and it was a fantastic, especially for a debut show. I thought it was just ridiculously good. So I encourage everyone to go see that. Other than that, people can check me out on John G's Beat. People can check me out at globaltravelerusa.com. They could check me out on Global Women's Sports Radio, where I cover women's sports. And that's it. That's about it. And I'm on random other sites, but that's only here and there, so I won't add any more. And on Roxy's room.
Yes, you are on Roxy's room, and I am so glad that you are. There will always be a throne available for you. If someone else is sitting on it, I will push them off and tell you to take a seat. That's how much weight you have here.
Well, I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate you, Roxy, for everything you do, and I look forward to your future interviews. Who else who's coming down the line, and I look forward to seeing you again, whether it's at Comic Con or the CCW show, wherever. It's always a good time.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is. We're all about having a good time here in Roxy's room. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, and I hope I see all of you again next time. Thanks a lot, and please tune in. Bye-bye now.